What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists, and welcome to another episode of On the Bench with Pete. This is the paint along / build along / hobby along / whatever along series that you put on in the background whilst you hobby or do whatever you're doing, and together we can get stuff done. So as you may or may not know, I'm working on my Necromunda, guys, and I'm using these sessions to complete my Necromunda houses. I'm still working on my Goliaths at the moment, and at a stage where I'm wanting to put some skinned flesh tone on them, because I've done the other base colours and put my first wash on, which was Agrax Earthshade. So all the colours that were on there, I was wanting the Agrax Earthshade to go over, but now I'm at the stage where I want to do the flesh, so I'm going to be using Bugman's Glow. So grab your brushes and your models and your drinks, tea, coffee, glues, whatever you need. Just put me on in the background. We'll be about an hour and we'll just get some hobby stuff done. So let's get to the bench. Okay, so these are my guys all bunched together. I'm using a milk bottle lid to kind of mix my colours up into. As I've said previously, I can't find my wet palette. I don't know where it is. I've kind of got half of an idea, but I'm not sure. But in the meantime, I don't want to waste any time. I just want to get stuff done. So, to combat that, I'll be thinning down my paints using some drying retarder. Right here, which I put in this. I decant into one of these. And some Flow Aid. Now, this is a bottle. Or a pot rather, it's a pot of Bugman's Glow that's almost at the end of its lifespan. So we'll just put a little bit in there. I think 2 drops of drying retarder. I can also use this to thin it out, you see. And a drop of Flow Aid. Oops, that was 2 drops. Oh well. Tell you what, I'll grab another little blob of Bugman's Glow. That should hopefully make it right, he says. Yeah, got these fingerless gloves on because it's cold, man. It's cold. It's freezing. We're due for some sort of really cold spell of weather in the UK. A lot of the UK's due snow at various points. But I don't know where that's going to be. We don't usually get snow, we usually just get the rain. It's the ice that bothers me more than anything. Right, I'm doing the majority of this with a detail brush, but it's a little too small. I've got my Kalinsky Masterclass brush here. That's kind of cool. That's kind of a next size up type of affair going on there. I'm just going to pop my glasses on here. I'll see how I get on with these fingerless gloves. If they get in the way, I'll just take them off and yeah, see how we go. So this is the first time I'm looking at these miniatures since yesterday, when I was able to get a little bit of a painting session in on them to get the wash done. So I'm just going to start with his hand here, hoping it's not thinned down too much, but that's okay. Not bad at all. And I love the poses of these guys. They look awesome. I've been watching the this is not the best way to start, chronologically, but I've been watching the mini wargaming, the Blue Collar Heresy campaign they've been running. It's only episode 1, I believe. I've been watching that and I thought, oh, this is like Dark Heresy. Quite like the look of Dark Heresy. I wonder how much that is. And it's a ridiculous amount of money to get Dark Heresy. Oh, that man. So instantly, so I'll put this question out to those of you before a lot of you click off or whatever. Does any of you know of well, what one? Have any of you ever played Dark Heresy? Do you play Dark Heresy? And do you know of any equivalent that could be cheaper, sci-fi setting that could be used in a sort of similar vein to Dark Heresy? Yeah, that's my questions. That would be awesome. I think my friends would enjoy Dark Heresy, but well, so would I think, but not at those prices. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah, so the skin, this is going to be a large part of this sort of section, this kind of, this level here. And I may take my gloves off in a moment. Majority of the area is fine for this brush, but a lot of it is a finicky affair, so I think I'll do the face with the detail brush. That in fact is probably, apart from his hand, that's probably all I want to do with the Kalinsky brush. Yeah, I'd ideally love to run a sort of Dark Heresy role-playing game. That looks awesome, it really does. Right, I'm switching out over to the detail brush for ease. Yeah, so we'll do that. So we've got a bit of his arm under here. Thank you, by the way, those of you who've entered my 1,000 subscriber giveaway competition. There's some beautiful shots and videos of the moon coming in. It's really awesome, beautiful to see. I love it. So thank you everyone who's entered into that. It's going to be a good giveaway. Actually, the giveaway itself has given me an idea of how I want to do future giveaways, or an idea of how I'd like to do a future giveaway. I'll take my gloves off because they are getting in the way. In spite of how cold it is. Oh, the glass top is cold. But okay, we'll get around it. I've got a nice cup of coffee here, a nice hot cup of coffee. That should ease the chill somewhat. Now, so what was I saying? Dark Heresy. Yeah, I didn't realise it was so dear, man. That is an expensive game. And a great shame that it's so expensive, or that they don't do it anymore. I wonder if they'll do like an updated version of it. That would be cool. It's a pity the Dungeons and Dragons franchise doesn't do a futuristic version of its system. I don't know what they'd call it though. What's the Dungeons and Dragons? I don't know. Planets and Aliens or something. I don't know. Planets and Monsters, the role-playing game. I don't know. Some of these may be quite tricky to get into the areas I want to, but that's okay. He's got a mask on, this dude. Yeah, he's got a mask, but he's got these things at the back of his head, whatever it is. I would guess, my best guess would be something to do with filtering out all the toxic air or something, you know. Yeah, because I was watching the campaign Blue Collar Heroes, and I was like, "Oh, this looks really cool." Sounded a bit complex compared to like your average role-playing game, but then I would expect no less from Games Workshop, to be honest. And I think the best role-playing games are the simpler ones, to be truthful, because you can concentrate more on the role-playing aspect or element of it, as opposed to, you know, the maths of it all. You gotta calculate the square root of some impossible thing just to do a simple task, you know, that kind of thing. Actually, that's not the difficult part. The difficult part is remembering what you got to do. In order to do this, you must do this. But that's okay. As in all role-playing games, it can be adapted. So many cool games and so much cool stuff to get into, and you know, can only do one thing at a time. It'd be nice if Necromunda released a role-playing game, you know, supplement to the game. That'd be so cool, really would. Right, I think he is done. This fellow here, yeah, with his Bugman's Glow. I do hope I come across some easier postures. Is that the right word? Poses? I don't know. Whatever. But anyway, yeah, these moon videos, awesome, absolutely awesome. I'm super looking forward to drawing the winner and sending out the prize. It'd be great. Yeah, in the future. See, it all depends how you draw the winner. It all depends on how many entrants you get, really. If you get a ton of them, you just got to do some sort of random number generator, or if you don't get too many, but a fair few, it'd be cool. I thought it'd be kind of cool to do like some sort of you know, like some sort of one of these face-off kind of videos where each entrant is a character and you fight them against one another in my idea originally when I first started YouTube was to do an arena of death. That's what I had in mind to call it, because I think that's what it was called in, oh, I forget the name of the supplement now. But you know, people have done this sort of thing, this kind of face-off who would win thing in their videos for a while now. It's been going on, but it'd be kind of cool to use that as a basis for choosing a winner. Do like a Royal Rumble kind of thing. But I'd look for characters whose stats were the same. You know, it'd have to be equal. Maybe it depends on the competition, you know. If you just do a comment, you get an average infantry guy. If you do whatever it is I'm asking for, I don't know, make a video you get the next one up sort of thing, like a more powerful dude who would stand more chance of winning. And then just pit them against each other, roll some dice, and yeah, have some fun. I think that'd be super fun. And I'll work out the logistics of it all and see how I'm going to do that for another time. But that will be good fun, I think. I think so. Right. Dead space. Dead airwaves. That's because he's concentrating again. He's concentrating on his model. Give him a break. This guy's got sort of a collar thing going around his neck, which I'll paint over at another time. One of my neighbours is playing crappy music again. I long for the day when we don't have neighbours. I mean, for the most part they're alright, but it's just like, you know, nobody has the same taste in music and nobody likes listening to it at the same time. And you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm sure you do. Heating up nicely in here now though. Doesn't take long. So I'm on the second dude. I'm hoping to get at least, you know, one layer of Bugman's glow down this episode. The good thing about Necromunda, of course, is you don't need many guys. Which again would be cool. I suppose they don't do much in the way of role playing because it doesn't sell many miniatures, although it could do if you marketed it right and you created the game in the right way. I don't mean that it in the way that it would require loads of miniatures to play, but just that you get a load of options to make it even cooler. That's my view. Okay. That's him. And now I'll choose this guy. I'm hoping there will be a pose that will be quite easy. So it seems so okay so far. It's nice to get some paint on the faces and that, you know. And I think once the skin is done on these guys, they'll look pretty sweet. When I say done, I mean, you know, done. Not just this first layer. I mean done. Done, dude. Okay. Some nice muscle tones going on here. Yeah, I like that. Looks good. It looks good. So, like I say, it's getting cold here. Very cold, in fact. So I've been topping up the gas and electric, getting ready for when we, the cold really hits us, and it'll be on full blast, so to speak. It's all right when I come out here. Once I'm out here and it's warmed up, it's just being brave enough to come out here initially, just to turn on the heating, to let it warm up. So what I do is I sometimes come out here first thing, turn on the heating, so that when I do come out here properly, it's nice and warm already. But lately I've just been doing it not long before I've been coming out here anyway, and it's like freezing. It's just working. It's like, working up enough willpower to have a shower in the morning when it's freezing cold. So it really wakes you up, I tell you. Okay. It's a fairly easy pose so far, he says, so far. It's good to get the skin toned down. It really is. Hands, because I still don't know what this armament is he's got here, this weaponry, but I'm sure I will find out soon enough. I know I shouldn't be holding my miniature by the plastic bits, but don't do what I do, guys. Do what I say, which is to wear a glove at all times. Otherwise you risk transferring oils from your skin onto the model, which is not good. Hey, I never said it was perfect. It's only when you do things like the skin and you see what other parts should have been painted different colours, I'm thinking, oh, that maybe should have been metal as well around his collar, and yeah, it's easier to see that as you start, getting closer to completion. Now it's easier to see certain parts of a model, and you think, oh right, okay, that really should be this colour. That's all right. Then you can go back in and change that. That's not a problem. Not a problem. Well, that's three guys done now. Need a sip of coffee. Alright, 3 guys down. 7 to go. Alright. It's difficult to know which part of the model to start on sometimes. I quite like the yellowy green primer I used for underneath. It's quite a nice effect. So from this point on, the washes are going to be quite precision based, I suppose. applied with more precision. That's a better way of putting it, I suppose. Yeah, applied with greater precision. Because the last one was pretty much just brute 33 job. Slap it all over. Splash it all over. As Henry Cooper used to say, for those of you old enough to remember the advert. For those of you that don't know what brute 33 is, it's kind of, you know, what your dad used to have for aftershave. What used to sneakily go into your parents' bedroom and slap on. You wanted to try and impress some girls at school. That was brute 33, and Henry Cooper used to do an advert for it. Splash it all over. Whereas that's just me. I'm sure there were equivalents to wherever you are in the world. Right, this guy's got sort of half a mask thing going on here. But that's cool. So I was watching the Blue Collar Heresy game they played. It was about a 2-hour session. I think they've yet to put another one up at the moment, at the time of recording this, but I did enjoy the story. I love the way they started out getting on the train, the mag train, which took them like 4 hours to get to work, and yeah, it was done quite well, especially with the camera angles and that. There's a lot of role-playing stuff online now that you can see, and it's getting better and better. And, you know, I'm not saying mini wargaming are the best at it by any stretch of the imagination, but they've done a fairly decent job with the different camera angles, and everybody's got their own microphone, and you know, it looks and sounds good. I think it was easy to visualise all the stuff. Just getting the skin areas done. He's got under his neck as well. Yeah. But this game they're playing, that's set in on a hive world. I'm not sure that it's Necromunda exactly. It didn't mention it, but it's got an underhive to it section. That's why I think it would be cool if there was a role-playing element to Necromunda. See, it wouldn't be instead of Necromunda, it would be as well as, you know. There's another book that they could sell, if nothing else, you know. You could use the Necromunda figures for that as well. I think the role-playing games lend themselves more to figures you wouldn't ordinarily be rushing out to buy, like Inquisitors and things like that. Things of that nature. You just wouldn't do it. This tack is not holding the model on very well. I wish I had enough painting handles to hold all my miniatures. So this will make figure number 4 with his first layer of Bugman's Glow. So four. Then I'll do this dude with this huge mallet thing. I love that. This hammer thing he's got here. It's just brilliant. Oh, this is the dude with the ridiculously small cigar. Those of you that haven't put the Necromunda set together, one of the guys, and there's this guy, he's got a cigar in his mouth. And the cigar is separate on the sprue. And it's smaller than the bits of stuff you clip off of a sprue normally. It's tiny, absolutely tiny. I was very fortunate I didn't lose it. But why they couldn't have moulded that in with his face, I don't know. I guess a cigar would be a kind of a luxury on the, a hive world such as Necromunda. It's not a overly easy model to be doing the skin on, but we'll manage. Yeah, so we're at half an hour already. Goodness me, how this time goes. And don't the weeks go quickly as well? Have you found that? Like, man. Because I suppose, every time, well, most of the time you see an episode of On the Bench repeat, that's another week gone by. Yeah, it's craziness. Pure craziness. I got my Age of Sigmar models I want to start as well sometime. Wonder if they could ever be used in Necromunda, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, let me have a look. Looks a little out of place, I suppose, but yeah. Can't wait to get going on that. That one was primed for a tutorial, actually. My tutorial on priming, which I did a while ago. Priming with an airbrush, that is. But yeah, so role playing, futuristic role playing. I mean, I grew up with D&D. Obviously, it's a fantasy setting. I love that. I absolutely love it. But I haven't played a futuristic role playing game in a long time. A long time. Yeah, I do miss it. I'm gonna have to sort something out because it doesn't sit well. You need to roleplay and you're just not able to. I could, if I made the effort, go to one of there is a club near me called, I think it's called Dark Star Gaming. I think they run a Dark Heresy role-playing game, but it's parking around the area. It's just so difficult to park. But yeah, that would be good. Because once you start something like that, you gotta keep it up. Otherwise, you're letting other people down. If you're part of a group, you know, it's only right that you should make the effort and turn up every week. Otherwise, games, they kind of lose their appeal. Because you've got to say, or someone's got to say, well, what would so and so do in this situation, and kind of make that bit up. Whereas if you've got the player there, he or she will just tell you what they're doing. No, I'm doing this. Right. So I'm nearly halfway. So I may not get them all done. I don't want to rush it. If I don't get them done, I don't get them done. I hope I do. You can't work out a technique for doing it either, because every model's different, every pose is different. It's not like you say, oh yeah, I'll start with the head, then the arms, and then, you know, whatever. Like you can on some models. I'm just talking out my thoughts, by the way. And I'm thinking I need to get some more Tyranids. They are my first love and my main army. And I think it's time I showed them some love. I need some new Tyranid models in my Tyranid army. If I do get this job in Games Workshop, then I may want to use my Tyranid army to fight some battles there with. So I think that would be cool. There he is. Hammer guy's all done. Time for another sip of coffee. So I've got 5 guys to do. I won't get them done in an hour, so we might run a little later. That's okay. I don't mind. It will take a little longer to render the video, but you know, I don't play these in high def anyway, because there's no point. It's a background video. So what would be the point in rendering this in high def when I can do it in 480p in half the time? I know some people shout, you know, consistency or whatever, but I am consistent. I consistently have set rendering qualities depending on the video. You know, a long video like this goes up in 480p because it's not about the visual. Shorter videos, regardless, all go up in HD now. A lot of my videos weren't HD when I first started, but you know, that was the early days. It's kind of expected to be at least 720p these days, which I do for things like my P&Qs and things like that. A lot of these dudes have got masks on, which they probably would have and should have in a hive world. I've got some collars to touch up when the skin is dry. Make sure I do that. So, what are you guys working on? Or, if you're not working on anything, what are you thinking about working on? What are you going to be working on next? There's another question. What are you working on? And what are you going to be working on next? And or if you like, right, retarder. Boom. Get my other brush. Yeah. Just mix that up. Yeah. So I've asked you about the role-playing stuff at the start of the video. No, I'm just asking my usual what you're working on. Oh, back along my wolf brother Mythos was working on his Castellan robots, and man, you should check that out if you haven't seen his kind of showcase on those. They look awesome. That's what I'm talking about. Nice showcasing style, by the way you set it up there, I do like that. That is awesome. You know, it's nice to see things in like a, I don't know, like a almost like a diorama setting. That just makes it, I think. A cool idea, very cool idea. I do like these Army Painter detail brushes. I like them so much. I bought another 2. I have this tack's not sticking stick, damn it. I've got a bigger regiment brush as well, which I, believe it or not, I painted my first Tyranids with. Well, actually all my Termagants and Hormagants, well, Termagants definitely. And I'm looking at the size of it and I'm thinking, how did I manage it with such a big brush? But when you know no different, I guess you just make it work, don't you? It would have been easier with a smaller brush. I know it's good to use as big a brush as you can, like as you can get away with, but depends how much detail you're after doing. When I started, I liked the idea of detail, but it wasn't really a practical thing. So, big brush it was. Always other hand. Mustn't forget that. You ever notice that, like you do, even when you're batch painting, you do a batch of guys. Oh yeah, I'll just do these, and then when you look back over them, you're starting to do the next day. You think, damn, I missed the hand on that dude. How can I miss that? You know, it's like crazy stuff. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I actually like the camera angle like this. I prefer it. There's a random thought. Sticker on the lid. Yeah, that's good, good. I like that. I've got 4 guys left to do. Right. I've done the hair on the Goliath guys different on some than others. One red, one blue, one yellow. I don't know, just it helped me distinguish them. separate characters would be, you know, better, I think. Watching a video of a friend of mine, used to be in one of my old bands actually that I used to be in, the guitarist. He's like, his YouTube channel is all about his own personal music, what he's making now, and he's coming up with some amazing stuff. You know, it's brilliant. I was always in awe of his guitar playing anyway. I thought it was brilliant. You know, better than your average, because he was a classically trained guitarist, you see. Well, he is. He's a classically trained guitarist. And he's kind of going back, almost in a way, to his classical roots now, but in a more modern way about it. I don't know. I can't describe it. But yeah, he's just brilliant. He makes his guitar sing for him. It's just amazing. I could sit and listen to it for hours. And I always said, I think I said to him ages ago, you know, you should use a looper pedal. Like, you could come up with some mind-blowing stuff. And he never did, but now he started doing that. And I was right. Absolutely awesome. He is a good guitarist. Better than good. I don't get to see him very often, but I really should try and hook up with him sometime and catch up, you know. Sometimes it's good to reminisce about the old days, some of the old gigs we did. It's all about perspective, and he seems to be happier doing his own thing. So the thing when you're in a band is you're all working together towards a common goal, but everybody's idea of that is slightly different, just slightly different, and sometimes that doesn't work for anybody. Yeah, I'm going to go back in and fix their collars at some point. I don't mind that some of the primer shows through underneath, because it's kind of like shading almost. Yeah, I mean, we're at 48 minutes now, and I've still got 3 guys to do. But that's okay. I'm not going to rush it. I'm just not going to rush it. Just look up at the camera. Yeah, I was still recording. You know, I did this once, back in the old days, when I was like still running on battery and things. You know, I was doing a video chatting away for ages before I realised that the battery had gone. One of the things I need to do more often is look at the screen like that, so I can see where I am, what I'm doing, you know, if I'm still in shot. Because it's amazing, especially when you're doing a tutorial, how easy it is to get off of the camera. You're going to kind of force yourself into a position where you don't do that. I've got some tubing on their backs to painting as well. Let's do the tubing green. Yeah, they're starting to look better with the skin going on here now. Not a bad run though, to get nearly all the guys done with the first blob of Bugman's Glow. So yeah, looking for a sci-fi role-playing game. I'm still going to be topping up my Dungeons and Dragons books, although I've got more than enough to be getting on with really. Wouldn't mind one of the campaign books. That'd be quite good. Right. Just trying to ascertain any parts I've left out. Bound to be some as I go back over. We'll do his shoulder there. Right, I think that one is good. 2 left. Come on, you can do it. On the blue. Is it another blue hair? Oh no, the other one was green. Green hair. This one's the blue hair. So it's different in this light. It's different to tell sometimes. Hard to tell, I meant. Yes, it's hard to tell because it looks different. That's what I meant to say. These artificial lights put a whole new glow on it. Yeah, if I could use these guys in a sci-fi role-playing game, that'd be awesome. I like the idea of the blue collar heresy though, that they're all just normal guys, nothing special about them. I think that kind of brings out better role-playing in you. I think. These sure are muscly dudes. Really pumped. Guess the Escher have been selling them too many steroids, eh? I know they're on enhancement drugs. from what I've seen, heard people say, they said it seems a bit unbalanced with the Goliath and Escher houses fighting each other, because the Goliaths usually always win. So I'm going to be very interested to see how that plays out. What can be done about that? Okay. Again. Right, there is a hair there. That's gonna bug me. Come on. Can I get it with the tweezers? I don't know. These tweezers are not the best. I did have another set somewhere. Got it. That's awesome. There's a hair stuck on the paint. I hate it when that happens. Right. That's better. Yeah, I just hate it when you see that, like a hair stuck that's come off your brush or whatever, or a previous brush from a previous layer of paint you've done, it's kind of dried onto the paint. I hate that. That's better, looking much better. Oh yeah, that looks good. I like that. Yeah, so if I've got different colour hair for my guys, I can name them and they'll be easier to distinguish apart then. The thing is, it looks like I've done part of the collar on this one. That's alright. I'll go over and do the collar separately, probably after this video, because I expect the first ones are dry by now. You know, it's been an hour after all. This is the last guy. So we're nearly there, chaps. Nearly there for this episode. Thank you for those of you that watch this and paint along with me. I know I can't see you like here and now, but knowing that you do, a lot of you do, I like that. I feel connected. If that makes any sense. I enjoy chatting about different things with you. I'll have to do a live show again sometime. They're quite fun to do. I know everybody's going over to Twitch and things like that, but I want to keep my YouTube as YouTube, There's a couple of straps I may need to go over separately as well. That's alright, they're just like not a problem. I'll leave him out. It's the Mornfang Brown for the straps. I don't feel like I'm rushing him, but I don't know. It could be a subconscious thing, couldn't it? It could be a subconscious thing that I'm rushing. I don't realise I am. Don't want to. I love doing these videos. I absolutely love it. Because I'm making a video and I'm getting stuff done on my hobby. Whereas if I'm just showing, which is good, I'm not getting it done though. I kind of feel like I need to be spending the time because there's only one of me. I need to spend my time as efficiently as I can, and these on the bench episodes really help me achieve that. I feel. Right, and that is that. I'm just gonna get a brush rinsed out there. Okay, right. So I am going to stop it here. There, so thank you once again for joining me on the bench. Got the first layer of background glue done on the skin on my Goliaths, and I am chuffed to bits with that, because it can be a boring task, can't it, doing that sort of thing? It can be, and doing these videos with you guys, it just breaks it up and helps me so much. So thank you once again for watching. Don't forget about the questions I have asked of the RPGs and what you're working on. If you can, remember, just let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on that. And remember, all brushes lead to war. I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.